So looking at the railgun itself, with it panel lined, in my opinion, is fantastic. Getting to show off all that little detail that's molded into the plastic is amazing. So it's a nice little appreciation to what got made. And with that panel coming and hinging down, hinge, 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 hinge. So that moves, this moves, and that part moves. You're now able to view the inside of the railgun. And this is again too with the switch at the bottom near the charging port. Goes up and you get it moving and lit up. And I didn't realize it, but this was actually a black light. So you do get some very not so bright light up at the front, at the very tip of the barrel, the rotating portion, and the rear. And so it looks closed. And let's show what it looks like dark. So very nice. Pretty bright too. And as you can see, this is where you can still see that electric effect. That's not too bright in front of everything. And also the side just closed. So I love, again, how this looks when it's lit. Looking at the stand itself is pretty standard comparative to some of the other stands that I've seen. There's no real place to store any type of items, and it does include 2 little fillers for your stand. So depending on where you put one of the included arm pieces, you can close off the port to make it look more flush. But you still have a hinge, 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 so you are able to move once it's unlocked. You can move it up and down. So you can go straight vertical 90 and forward about, what, 45? And it still has the ability to lock it in, so that's still nice. Unlocking here will extend, and pressing the button inside will allow you to move the hinge and lock it in place. And now it does come with 3, or 4 I should say, different connection pieces. One large one for the support holding of the unit, plugs in, I want to say it's like 5mm, and you have a small 3, a larger hexagon, and then what looks to be like a rectangular one. Not sure what you're supposed to use those for. And these extra pieces are mentioned in the instruction books, but are not usable at all. So, extra pieces. For the handles, you have one 1/44th, one 100th, and one 1/60th scale. The other one is with my talkies. There is a way to be able to hinge at the handle, which lets it come in to look a little bit more compact. There's also a hinge at the top, and this handle portion can also come up to give you like a briefcase, suitcase kind of attachment. Now there is another portion of movement here, and you have to be careful because I already broke mine. Pull the pieces downwards till it's fully extended. Extend the bipod foot so that way you know where it's going. And on the inside, you're going to want to support from the actual base and then hinge out. This is what's going to be able to then still let you hinge to give you the support effect. Now, if you're not careful, this will snap fully through. So pull it all the way out, hinge out your foot, grab at the base, and you can already see the stress mark, and then go out, and then hinge out. This next piece can still plug in right underneath the barrel, so it does hinge and slides out to act as your third for the tripod, which I really think is nice, but it doesn't do too well once it's broken to support. When it is, I like it. But there is another mode for this where the long barrel will hinge down, and let's show you that. Once it's in its compact form, I will admit it does look a little bit nicer. You can even bring the barrel in, not much, but it does have some sliding effect. Be careful about where you have your hinge, as well as some of the base pieces, because they will kind of slide off, but can be glued. You cannot access your charge point if this portion handle is inside. So even if you don't want to use those handles, you can still have it hold like a handle, or even on top, kind of like a heavy machine gun. So I really do like how this looks when it's compact, still with the hinge at the top and a sliding portion right here that does allow you to even give it, again, that briefcase kind of look. But once it's turned on, you'll still be able to see how nice this looks in its compact form and in darkness. So definitely very, very, very cool that it can go ahead and show off that light and that brightness and still look pretty impressive in its small barrel form. As for the size comparison, there really isn't any type of typical one that you can expect with this, so I'm going to knock out all the different types of variations from our master grades, high grades, Kotobukiya, third-party type of transformers, and model kits. And my fave, the Blue Flame, or Chokugan Zoids, Oracle from a throwback, our SH Fig Arts with Tianwei, King Transformers. We've got our big Transformer other boys from third parties with our Thick Geese that I just recently reviewed. Amazing. With it in front of the 1/44th scale Gundam Wing model kits that I have, you can see how it is quite large. In my opinion, I love the Super Sentai Power Rangers Tokusatsu Blaster Master effect and posing that I was able to get them into, but you can see, scale-wise, it's a gigantic cannon at the 1/44th scale. And yes, Heavy Arms is holding the handle that the unit can use, but honestly, that's too big for one person. I like how it looks in a group, but with the 1/100 scale, and I only have the Gundam Wing line currently, Heavy Arms was the perfect choice for this heavy railgun. It cannot grab with the handle that is included, but with it holding it with like that suitcase portion on the top that I've mentioned earlier in the review, you can see how it looks gigantic. And oh, I really enjoyed how this looked with the 1/100 scale. Now, getting to the 1/60th scale, and the only one, again, that I really have in my collection, was the Thick Geese Monument Repair type. And even with its own Doberman gun that it has included, you can see, one-handed as it's nicely holding on to, it can really give a nice presence at that scale. I mean, it looks like it gives Wing Gundam a nice little competition for his own pew-pewer, but fantastic at that size. Let's take a look at the heavy-duty Blast Electromagnetic Railgun Plastic Assembly Model Kit. Inside you get a nice booklet, some water slide decals, some nice artwork. Getting a chance to talk about the plastic itself, prior to any of the cleaning of it, it was undergated. It didn't feel cheap. I did enjoy the cleanup on it, and overall, not bad on the plastic. Not too many runners on it as well, and 2 pre-painted parts. So, yeah, that was pretty sweet. And always check your electronics prior to putting anything together. Do you enjoy your panel lining? Do you use a panel marker? I personally need to do better at pre-top coating this before doing all these, but that will come on this next year. And also a big shout out to Gundam Central for having this in stock. Not only do they have amazing items in stock for their own store, but there's the warehouse stock, which is very quick on shipment if you're here in the States, upcoming and sale items. But again, fantastic build overall. As you're going through doing the cleanup, you can see your progress. I really enjoyed, again, the overall putting together of the pieces. A little snug on one part where there was some wiring. I had to cut a small plastic piece out because it just could not be snaked the way that I expected it to. But minus that one little non-visual issue, I really, really enjoyed this build. And again, if you're a little scared about electronics like I have, this is my second kit. believe in yourself. I know you can do it because I was scared while doing all of this. So I know you can also do it. So believe in yourself because I do. And I'm excited to see how you all do more releases in the future. But once it's actually done, fantastic on its presence, whether it's just standing by itself. I do feel bad that I did bust the tripod effect on it, but I've got enough of the actual arms that can help support it. It's going to look amazing in other future reviews. If you were worried about getting this, pull the trigger, or pull the railgun in this case, and enjoy it, because I know it'll be a fantastic addition in your all's collection. But thanks again for coming to the warehouse, everybody. I'm excited for other future releases. I'll be looking forward to your reviews and comments in the future. So we'll see you soon, crew.